step. He had worked out a hypothetical hieroglyphic alphabet, and by using it to write the cartouche for Cleopatra, he now had evidence that the alphabet was correct. He had done this not just by logical deduction, but by using the languages of Coptic and Common Egyptian to work out the precise sounds of each hieroglyph. William Banks's obelisk now stands in the grounds of the Kingston Lacey estate in Dorset. Ironically, although it looked like giving Young an advantage in the race, the obelisk ended up making his life more difficult, because in his reading of its hieroglyphs, he made a crucial mistake.
Damn it, there's always something. It says Cleopatra in the Greek, but the first hieroglyph's clearly wrong. You know, Gurney, sometimes I'd rather have my teeth pulled.
Sir Trotton, what are you doing here?
For you. Drawings. A friend of mine's just been to Egypt. Heard Young was getting close, so I thought you might need them.
That is kind. Oh, come in. Come in.
It's a ruined temple at Abu Simbel. Any use to you?
Oh, it's beautiful. What I wouldn't give to be standing there.
Who's in the cartouche?
I don't know. I've not seen that one before.
Abu Simbel was an ancient temple. This monument was constructed long before the country was colonized by Alexander the Great. So the hieroglyphs which covered its walls were old enough never to have been corrupted by ancient Greek. The man who built this temple is widely seen as the greatest pharaoh of them all. And when this huge complex was constructed, he was at the height of his power. The four 65-foot statues which guard the entrance to the building were images of the pharaoh himself. The smaller temple at the side was a monument to love, a pharaoh's love for his queen. It was Giovanni Belzoni himself who had discovered the inner temple in 1817.
Time to go in.
Despite his achievement, Belzoni was unable to read the thousands of hieroglyphs that covered the temple walls.
Now I understand the man who built this. I don't know his name, but I know he is a real showman.
Champollion would now attempt to read the name of this ancient pharaoh for the first time in over 1,000 years.
Oh, yeah? Remember Sassy? Enlighten us. How close are we to enlightenment after all these years?
Well, you know that it's a royal name.
True. And this is an ancient temple. It's not Greek or Roman.
Mm-hmm. What does that one look like to you?
I always thought it was like the sun.
What if it was more than just a symbol? What if this ancient hieroglyph also made a sound? Would Coptic help?
The Coptic for sun is Re.
And the Egyptian god was also known as Ra. And I know this one. This double hieroglyph at the end makes the S sound in Ptolemus. What about that one? I don't know. But what if it was
The letter N.
Ramesses.
The M was a guess, also based on Coptic. But he was right. This is Ramesses. The pharaoh had spoken, and Champollion had heard his voice across the millennia. By translating the hieroglyphs for Ramesses, Champollion proved he could read the code of the pharaohs. He was now able to confirm that his hieroglyphic alphabet could be extended to read words written over 3,000 years ago. He'd done it by going backwards in time, beginning with the Coptic, then Common Egyptian, finally arriving at ancient hieroglyphs. Champollion at last had the key to making the mysterious hieroglyphs that covered every temple wall in Egypt speak their secrets. The word Ra in Ramesses is directly related to the Coptic word Ra, meaning sun. The rest of his name was also a Coptic expression meaning born of. In ancient Egyptian culture, Ra was the creator of Egypt, a sun god, one of the most important of all Egyptian deities. He was represented with a disk, the sun, on his head. All pharaohs were said to be related to him. The name Ramesses literally means child of the sun god. Champollion had worked out that the hieroglyphs weren't only symbols, but also a language. He now possessed the first clues for bringing ancient Egypt back to life. Champollion's revelation happened in the autumn of 1822, 24 years after the stone had been discovered.